If you solve just 10% of these riddles, you have a 1000 IQ. So let's just say this, if you're able to solve these riddles, you're an absolute genius. Riddle number 1, life-saving breakfast. One night, Marla was out when a psycho abducted her. The maniac's house was in the middle of nowhere, so Marla was truly stranded with no way to escape the prison. But one day, the kidnapper decided to have some fun, and at the expense of his hostage. He suggested a seemingly innocent game and said to his prey, "Make me the perfect breakfast and I'll let you go unharmed if I like it. But remember, if it's not to my liking, you will die." The next morning, Marla started cooking her kidnapper's breakfast. But the minute her back was turned, the lunatic sneaked into the kitchen and dropped an entire packet of salt into the pan on the stove. However, he still had to let Marla go after tasting the breakfast she served. Why did he allow Marla to leave? You have 15 seconds starting now. Did you figure it out? The answer is that Marla made hard-boiled eggs for the man, so all of that salt still wasn't enough to ruin the perfect breakfast. Number 2, poisoned. James is a brave young man who loves to go on quests and adventures. He stumbles across a scheming wizard who is evil to the core on one such heroic adventure. The sinister wizard poisons James and places the only antidote at the top of the steep rock face. Now James is suffering and willing to do anything to save his life. Lucky for him, he's got 3 potions that can transform him into an animal that can climb the rock and retrieve the only antidote. One potion will turn James into a monkey. The second will make him into a mountain goat, and the last potion will transform him into an eagle. Which potion will James drink? You have 15 seconds to pick the correct answer. Your time starts now. Did you solve it? The correct answer is the blue potion that transforms James into a monkey. While an eagle can fly to the top and a goat can expertly climb, neither animal can actually open the vial of antidote without dropping and smashing it. That leaves us with the professional climber, the monkey, who can use his fingers and opposable thumbs to open the bottle and drink the healing antidote. Number 3. $5. One day, your friend Ronald gives you $5 and requests that you buy 4 different items with the dollar bill. In just $5, he wants you to buy him food, a drink, and something to feed his cow as well as to plant in his garden. Now you're left shocked wondering, this is too much. How am I ever going to get all of that in just $5? But you're a good friend, so now you have to do this favor. The clock is ticking. What will you buy? Did you figure it out? You can simply buy a watermelon for just $5. Your friend can eat it and drink it too because it's 90% water. He can also feed his cow the watermelon rinds, and later he can plant the seeds of the fruit in his garden. Voila. Number 4, the clever criminal. There was once a king who was always merciful and generous with his people, even the bad ones. One time, he gave a death sentence to a convict for his terrible crimes. Since the king was a soft-hearted man, he allowed the criminal to choose how he wanted to die. Now the question is, which death did the cunning criminal choose to escape capital punishment? You know the drill. 15 seconds. The convincing culprit chose old age as the way he wanted to die. Pretty clever, right? Number 5, workspace accident. Cameron had been working hard at a construction site for 2 months when he got injured in a so-called accident. One day while working at the site, he was attacked by someone with a hammer. Cameron passed out and was taken to the emergency room. Soon, an investigation was started after the attack, and the police narrowed down to 3 suspects: Brad, Ray, and Jared. Brad told the police that he had been putting tiles on the new roof when Cameron was attacked. Ray claimed to have been dozing off, whereas Jared confessed that he was laying bricks during the accident. Which man is guilty of attacking Cameron? Take a close look. You have to pick only one in the next 15 seconds, and your time starts now. If you observe closely, you'll notice that the building has no roof, so Brad was lying about putting tiles up on it. And so we have the man who attacked Cameron and then lied about it. Let's move on to the next riddle. The next riddle is the riddle of the day and the most challenging riddle of them all. Number 6, code in the note. Mr. Richards was an extremely wealthy man who was kidnapped from his mansion by an unknown person. The detectives arrived at Mr. Richards' house from where he was taken. They investigated and found nothing substantial, except for a strange note with a string of numbers, 37713. What do these numbers mean? The police and detectives wondered. After this note, they managed to pin down 3 suspects who could have been involved in Mr. Richards' abrupt disappearance: Lance, Ellie, and Carl. Who's the kidnapper? Make a guess, you have 15 seconds. Ellie is the culprit since her name is coded as 37713 in letters on the note. Number 7, tough survival. Laura's boyfriend Jacob worked in an inhabitable Antarctica. His job there would take him away for weeks and months. One time, Jacob had to stay in Antarctica for 4 months. During this time away from Jacob, Laura found another man and dated him. When Jacob came back and found out, he felt betrayed and kidnapped Laura and left her in Antarctica with food, water, and warm clothes. Before abandoning her there, Jacob said that if Laura survived this harsh ordeal, he'd come back for her. Jacob also offered to let her choose one of 3 things to increase her chances of survival in Antarctica: lotion, plant, sunglasses, and vitamin C pills. What should Laura choose to survive in Antarctica? The correct answer is the sunglasses, because the sunlight is too bright in Antarctica, and without them, she might go blind. Number 8, in a plane crash. Harvey was flying to an important meeting when one of the engines failed, and the plane went down. Smoke and flames filled his cabin, but Harvey had 3 objects to save his life: a fire extinguisher, polyester slippers, and a hot water bottle with a wool cover. Which object could save this man's life? Your time's ticking. Did you figure out the riddle? Harvey should choose the hot water bottle, soak the wool cover in water, and use it as a gas mask to prevent suffocation to death. Number 9, summer party. One hot summer night, Jenny decided to throw a party. Everything was going well at the party, but Jenny got a terrible shock the following day. All her money and jewelry were missing. It seemed as if a thief had snuck in and stolen her precious possessions. So now the police questioned the people closest to Jenny: her boyfriend, Craig, best friend Sarah, and her sister Monica. Craig confessed that he was too busy playing video games all night during the party. Sarah said that she was home because she felt sick and knew nothing about what had happened at the party. Lastly, Monica, the sister, said that she had took a taxi after leaving the party at 7 a.m. She claimed that it was dark out at 7 a.m. and she couldn't see anything happening around her. Who is lying here? The correct answer is that Jenny's sister Monica is lying because the sun's out at 7 a.m. in the summer and it's already bright out. Click one of these 4 videos on screen right now.